So how are the Singapore banks DBS, OCBC and UOB doing as we head into the end of 2023? And more importantly, what is the outlook for 2024? Alright, are there some signs of strength coming back? Are there some signs to get in again to prepare for the really bullish move in 2024? And what are some of the levels we can actually potentially think about getting in? Hey guys, Joby here, top tier miser, trader in Phillip Securities, and in this video I'll be diving into the three Singapore local bank stocks, DBS, OCBC and UOB, whereby we have seen some weakness over the past couple of weeks, but there actually could be an opportunity, alright, to get in on dips based on some of those critical support levels that I will share with you guys. So if you want to know about these three banks you're looking to get in, looking to buy, or maybe even looking to get out and you're not sure where to do it, alright, watch this video all the way to the end whereby I'll dive into each of these three stocks. Let's go. So if you found this video useful, I'll appreciate if you can give me a like and smash the subscribe button as well. That will really help out the channel, and thank you so much for doing this, right? So let's move on to the first bank I'd like to share with you, and that would be DBS, right? DBS right here trading at about $31.64, right? So you can see that over the past 2 months, we have seen a little bit of weakness for DBS, right? We were actually consolidating just above this pretty strong support level at that $32, and that was pretty much the resistance we were trading below from May to July. You can see it was a bit of a resistance. We came down, and finally somewhere around July we broke above it. Resistance turned to support, and we have been holding above that $32 support level. But right, over the past 1 month or past 3 weeks to a month, right, we have actually broken down this $32 support level right over here, right? You can see right over here we broke 32, and we are obviously still trading below that 32 level. So pretty much back to this phase right here. You can see this is the phase that we were trading from, that $30 to 32, back to a lower phase because we have broken that 32 level. And when we broke that 32 level, you can see that this green line, that's what we call the 20 days short-term moving average. It has been pointing down, since October, November, and it is still actually pointing slightly down right now as we have broken the 32, right? So a little bit of weakness, I would say, in the short term still, until we see some good support coming back, maybe about 31 or maybe even 30, all right? And this 20 days moving average line starts to gradually flatten out and maybe even point up. When that happens, I think that is good, right? That is pretty much what we have seen somewhere in June. You can see right here, right? We were trading higher, all right? Sold all the way down, consolidated, same thing, we broke down. The 20 days moving average was down, flat, down, and it started to flatten out as we consolidated from 30 to 32, right? Started to flatten out, and eventually when we broke back above 32 with the 20 days moving average line starting to point up, great, that's where we saw that reversal happening, right? So that could be one of the things that you can look for as well with the 20 days moving average line. So let me just draw it for you. All right, right over here, it starts to maybe flatten out, and it starts to like what we saw just a few months back, so the point up, pump, we break above that 32. That could lead the reversal back up all the way to around that $35, maybe 35 to 37. Let me just draw ahead. Go ahead to draw this right here. I think that would be a resistance. You can see right here. We touched about one, so that would be a little bit of a resistance right here, about $36, right? You can see we touched, came back down, we neared it, came back down. So upside could be to that level, right, above 32, all the way up to around maybe 36. More than 10 to 11, 12% upside if we get back above that 32 level, right? But take note of where selling can actually come back again, right? Anything near 36, 37, you can see that since end of 2021, for about 2 years, we have been trading below that 36 to 37 critical resistance level, all right? So as we hit that again, that's where some profit taking can come back, all right? So this is DBS. I think it looks quite okay. We are seeing a bit of short-term weakness, but we can let it dip down a little bit more, all right? 30 to 31, like what we've seen over there. If the short-term trend starts to reverse back up, that is how the reversal can actually happen all the way up to that 36, 35, 37 level. So let's take a look at what it says on my 1GT, one good trend system that I have to guide us on entry and exit. So essentially this system kind of like, alerts us to certain stocks and also have what we call bullish or even bearish signals that comes out to guide us on getting in and also getting out, right? So this DBS, you can see that we had a couple of bullish signal maybe somewhere in July. It started to push up, right? Right over here, you got a green arrow pointing up, a bullish signal started to push up from like about 30, 50 to 33, and then exit started to came back down again, and a couple of bullish signals as it started to push up a little bit. But let's just zoom into where we were over the past like 1 month. You can see that somewhere around like 15th of November, after a series of bullish signals, we got this a red arrow pointing down. That would be what we call a bearish signal, which can indicate some selling actually coming back. Could look a little bit weaker, especially if we break certain support levels. So you can see after this bearish signal started to push down from like about 32.50, 32.70, all the way to where we are right now, around that $31.60 level, right? And there's another bearish signal that comes out. So as I mentioned, right, the trend still looks a little bit weaker in the short term because the 20 days moving average line is still pointing down, right? But hopefully, right, we might just push it down a little bit more, maybe to 31 or maybe even $30, and we stabilize a little bit there. All the trend indicators start to point up again, great, then we might even see a bullish signal coming out, maybe one we see over here like this, right, that lead the reversal all the way up. If we do see that, great, that is where you could start to time your entry to get into the recovery phase. Okay, next bank stock, OCBC, trading at about $12.48. You can see that for OCBC, we have been in very, very gradual, I would say, uptrend since like 2021 for the past 1-2 years. You can also draw what we call an upwards sloping right over here, an upward sloping channel support line, right, connecting the lows, right, since about 2 years back. You can see right over here, rebounded. So very, very strong, gentle uptrend in the longer term, whereas in the short term, we did see moving up and down, a bit of profit taking as we hit to some of those key resistance levels. So this resistance would be this level right here, around that $13.50. You can see right over here somewhere around like 2022, beginning of 2022. All right, we saw some bearish candles coming out, sell down. All right, same thing somewhere around here as well. Just this year in August, we approached 13.50. Sellers came back and we sold all the way back down again. All right, and right now we are kind of like approaching a very, very good support level that we have been holding for, I would say, more than a year, right, since November last year. So it's about more than a year, 1 year and 2 months, all right, and that would be the $12, right? You can see right over here. So it kind of like coincides with the upward sloping channel support line, and also this horizontal price level for more than a year. We have been holding above it. Buyers just came back, bargain hunt, and the reversal actually happened. Look at this, right? Swing up, swing down, swing all the way up, came back down, rebounded, swing down, rebounded, came back down, swing all the way up again, came back down again, and that is where we are right now, coming back down, and hopefully we can see that reversal back up from $12 all the way to that $13.50 level. So now it's at about 12.48. So 12.50 would be some sort of a temporary support level, but you can see that we are attempting to stay above it. It's just somewhere around there, still below 12.50. So we might see a bit of short-term weakness because the 20 days moving average, you can see this green line, it is still pointing down. So a bit of short-term weakness still. We can push that down a little bit more. All right, and somewhere around $12, the same zone. All right, right over here. So anything from 12 to 12.10, 12.20, 12.15, right? Of course, I'm not too sure whether it will go back down to 12.05 or 12.10 for you to buy, all right? But if it does approach this zone, then that would be really attractive because we have rebounded many times over the past 1 year, and that is a high possibility that it can happen again, especially if the short-term trend, all right, starts to reverse back up, and that could lead the reversal all the way up to 13 to 13.50. So this is OCBC. Let's take a look at what it says on my 1GT system as well. Okay, OCBC on my 1GT system that guides us on entry and exit. You can see that since 1-2 years back, we had a couple of bullish signals. As we approach that very critical 12 to maybe 12.20, 12.50 level, look at these bullish signals right here, shot up. And let's just zoom into where we are right now. You can see that since like 1-2 months back, we got an exit, right? An exit from this bullish signal, and some selling actually came back, right? So another bearish signal came out somewhere on the 30th of November, and we started pushing down a little bit more to where we are right now. So as I mentioned, right, somewhere around that $12, $12.10, $12.20, we might push back down a little bit more. The short-term trend is still down, But if we hit there again and we see another bullish signal like what we saw over here, all right, that could lead the reversal back up all the way to 13 to 13.50. So we'll see, right? See when there will be an exit from the current bearish signal and maybe even a new bullish signal coming up. Okay, let's move to UOB, trading at about $27.58. So I would say that UOB has been pretty weak. I would say this year we have attempted to push higher, but each time we push higher, sellers came back and push it all the way down, right? But we are seeing some signs of strength coming back gradually over the past 1 month. So let's take a look at it later. But you can see that since last year or beginning of 2022, we have been forming what we call lower highs, right? Lower highs. So it just gets lower and lower, which shows that sellers are just pushing prices down. So you can draw what we call a downward sloping channel resistance lines connecting the highs. So the highs are getting lower, which is not a good thing, right, in terms of the longer term trend, all right, until we kind of breach this red line, the channel resistance. Then that could be a good reversal move all the way back up. All right, so let me just remove this line right here. All right, and over the past 1 month, you can see that we traded lower and we are approaching this very key support level, right? This key support level, there are two levels, right? I would say that 26 right here, 26 is where we were somewhere in end of 2022, somewhere in June 2022 as well. And all this while, we have been holding above this 26 level for, I would say, about more than 2 years now. 26 is quite key. We have rebounded, you can see rebounded, came back down, rebounded, and shot all the way up. And over the past 1 year, right, we have gradually traded down to this 26 level to about 26 level, and also we have found a little bit of support around that 27. So 27, as I mentioned, two levels, right? 26 to 27, that is the range whereby some bargain hunting has came back, and we are starting to see some strength coming back. I would say even higher at about the 27. So that's a good thing, because over the past 1-2 months, you can see that this 20 days moving average, remember the short-term trend, we want to look at the 20 days moving average to see if it can start to slope back up to lead that reversal, right? So it is starting to happen right now, because this 20 days moving average line was pointing down, flat a little bit, and right now it is just starting to point up, right? We need a bit more confirmation. It's only 1 week, right? It's just starting to point up, but I think that confirmation can come. Let me go to draw another temporary resistance level. That would be around that 28. You can see, right? Just about $28 level. A bit of resistance here. We sold off, came back, sold off. So 28 would be a slight temporary resistance level that, if we were to break that 28, all right, that could be a good thing with the 20 days moving average pointing up, breaking 28. I think that could lead that gradual or slight reversal all the way up from 28, well, all the way back up to maybe that 30, 20, all right, right over here. That is where some selling can come back again, right? So this is UOB. Watch some of the levels, right? Right now the range I think is quite clear. It's a $1 range from 27 to 26. Hopefully we don't break 27. If we break 27, then I mentioned we can hit to 26. But right now it seems like 27 is holding quite well. Some bargain hunting are coming back, all right, and the 20 days short-term moving average, the short-term trend is starting to reverse back up. But as I say, we need to clear that 28 temporary resistance to see a much firmer upside or kind of all the way up to that $30 psychological level. Alright guys, so this is UOB on my 1GT system that guides us on entry and exit as well. That comes up with what we call bullish and even bearish signals to guide us to get out if we see maybe a bearish signal. Alright, so you can see that for UOB, since last year, it got a really strong rally. We got a bullish signal after selling down, and it went up from about 25 up all the way to $29, and some bearish signal came back, sold off a little bit, right? So they kind of guide us a little bit when we see a bearish signal. You can see right here a bearish signal at the top of 28.50, all the way back down. Another bearish signal went down a little bit more. All right, and let's see where we are right now. As you can see that this is where we are, about $27 plus, right? And over the past 5 to 6 months, as I mentioned, there was some selling, right, for UOB. In fact, started to push up, got a bullish signal, and exit, sold off. So each time we get an exit, sellers came back and pushed it all the way down. And recently, 7th of November, we got a bearish signal and it started to push down even more. But over the past 1 week, right, as I mentioned, right, we do see a bullish signal. Well, that has happened, right, over the past 1 week. And right over here on the 13th of December, all right, there is a new bullish signal coming out, right, as we held above that $27 level. So it's a good thing. It's a good indication, right, that there are some buying pressure coming back. All right, and as I mentioned, if we break that 28, I think this bullish signal level can start to play out. We might see the reversal happening all the way up to $30 level, right? And even though this bar, all right, this trend bar, right, so we have a trend bar that goes from green to red, and it is still red right now. So this trend bar is a bit more the mid to long term trend. It's still slightly pointing down, but yeah, we do have a bullish signal which kind of signifies or signals the short term trend. All right, so if we break the 28, I think that is where it can really play out. So there we have it, guys. I hope you like this video, and I've covered pretty much the 3 Singapore local banks, DBS, OCBC and UOB, and we have even dived into this system that I have called One Good Trend. In short, is 1GT, alright, that guides us on entry and exit. So I hope you kind of like take note of some of the key levels that I mentioned, how you could potentially time your entry to get in to ride any reversal in the short term back to some of those resistance whereby selling can actually happen again. Alright, and if you like this video, guys, go to hit the like button, smash the subscribe button as well, so that you will not miss out on any videos like this. And if you want to find out a little bit more on this strategy, how do we, not just about the banks but any other stocks, how do we know whether to get in and get out? How do we know not to look at stocks like this, or when to look at stocks like this to time your entry to get in? All right, and how we have a system to guide us as well based on the bullish and bearish signals. Well, you can attend one of those webinars that we're running maybe next year. All right, it's not ready yet. By the point in time in this video, it's not ready yet. But once it's ready, we'll let you know. How will we let you know? Well, you can be in our email list or private Telegram community. All right, click on the link below this video. Download my free trend trading report so that you can be in our community and all that, in the email list. And once it's ready, we'll send you an email to register for one of those free webinars whereby you can learn a little bit more on the strategy and the system. Does it make sense? Alright, so Joey here. I hope you found this video useful. Alright, wishing you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video, maybe even next year.